Welcome everybody to another episode of Behind the Mix. I am Keyz from Keyz Productions, and today we have something very interesting. We have someone very interesting with us here on today. She's a certified life coach. She's a business coach. She's been featured on Fox 29, The Q Show. She's a keynote speaker. She's the founder of a nonprofit organization, Dreams to Founder. She also has her own podcast. She is a mother. She's a go-getter. She is one of my good friends for a very, very, very long time. So I am honored to bring to the stage none other than my friend Khalia Deborah. How are you, Khalia?
Hey, I'm good. Just staying safe, staying healthy. I'm in a really good, peaceful place right now, so I'm really good.
Cool. So before we get into some questions, and this is actually going to be interesting because you're the first person who I'm going to be interviewing that does not do anything music related.
Not anything at all.
But there's a reason why you're here. So before we get into some stuff, can you tell everybody who you are from your point of view, from your perspective?
Oh, man. Well, me, I'm Khalia. I'm a mom before I'm anything. Well, a believer first more than anything, but I'm a mom. I have a family. Some may, my boyfriend Rich, but we run our household, we run our family, and that's pretty much what I am before anything. I absolutely love to help people. So before any of the accolades, any degrees or founders of any business, I just like to help people, which is why I do what I do. But more importantly, I just like to help people out of what they currently are in and just helping them do more with their life. So that's what I spend my time doing. Just helping people figure out how they can go to the next level in their life, business, they're starting a business, or even if it's in their career. I'm trying to help people level up. So that's what I like to do. But I mean, outside of that, I like to travel. Corona is very disappointing right now because Rich typically takes me away on my birthday every single year. And this will be the first April that we are not flying out somewhere. So I love to travel. I like being outside. Yeah, that's just me in a nutshell. Like I'm an introvert. So this whole being quarantined or stay home is not bad at all. But yeah, that's me. That's me in a nutshell. I'm not too much.
So let me ask you this. What actually got you started into coaching people and what actually got you started into actually investing your time into people's lives? Because there's a difference between being someone who provides content or somebody who puts themselves in a way to where they seem like they're helping versus somebody who really invests their time and to make sure that people are better. So what actually made you become a life coach?
Now, people ask that question all the time, and I go, first of all, full disclaimer, I did not want to be a life coach. I did not want to be a life coach. I mean, Keef, we went through our degree together. You were in school with me. We were in classes together. Like, I was hardcore. My degree is in accounting and finance. And I was going to leave college. I was going to be a wealth manager. I was going to help rich people keep their riches, and build my own. And aside from that, I was just going to help people who are not rich, just help them manage their money better. That's what I was going to do. And I was going to stick in the background, make my money, live my life. And after I got into the industry because I started working at Vanguard. And I got there and I'm like, I don't really like this. I don't really like this. It didn't really feel like that's where I wanted to be. I ended up taking a job paying me 60% less than I was making at Vanguard, but I was straight out of college. So I was able to take some financial risks and dips to figure out what I wanted to do. I ended up working at a hotel at the front desk, helping them with their accounting, making nothing. And then I found the job that I'm at now, which I'm a senior financial specialist, pretty much an analyst. And it took some time to get there. But even throughout like my journey of figuring out career-wise where I should be, I went through some stuff. I had kids out of, marriage because we're not married yet. I've took some left turns, been slapped in the face with, my own reality of my decisions. And I'm a believer. So, when we do things not in God's order, we got to go through some things. And battling with depression, anxiety, failed relationships, fixing relationships, I ended up like depressed to the point where I lost like 20 pounds. Like, if you know me, I'm skinny, y'all. I have no room to lose any weight. So I looked sick. Like it was a terrible time. And I tell people, like, if you imagine like a empty room, dark room, and just as a spotlight in a corner, and it's a grown person in fetal position, like that was me for days on end, and putting on a fake smile, and then just having to crawl my way out of it. Like I had to start from the basics. Like, all right, God, who do you call me? Who do you say I am? So I had to learn how to walk. I had to learn how to crawl. I had to learn how to walk. Had to learn how to be a woman. Had to learn like who this woman is he created. Like I had to start from the bare minimum. And through that journey, I journaled all of it, like my raw emotions, what I was going through. I read back now, like, dang, shorty. But I journaled everything, and then I started to step back into my hobby of photography, and people would randomly just talk to me or ask me questions, and I would just talk. And what I was telling people, whether it was helping them understand how they can use photos for branding, or helping them because they talked about a personal situation in their life as they're getting their makeup done, and I'm sharing my personal stories, they were taking what I was sharing and implementing it into their life, and texting me or emailing me and calling me for more. And I'm like, all right, maybe there's something here. So I took a break from photography, from everything, took a 3-month break and started venturing and researching, like, all right, God, I'm gonna spend time with you to figure out what you want me to do here. Like, what do you want me to do with my story? Do you want me to write a book like so many other people? What do you want me to do with this? So I spent time, I started researching the life coaching industry. What does it mean? I got certified in that time, and I just stepped out there. I'm like, look, y'all come to me, y'all want me to help y'all figure things out. So I created a curriculum and started building stuff, and I just went for it. Like, I just went for it. And throughout the journey, I'm getting better. I've learned so many different things since stepping out there, but this is something that God wanted me to do and not that I wanted to do. So he took my plans and was like, psych, I need you over here. And I just went. He said, go left, I went left, even though I originally wanted to go right. And some days I still want to go right.
Can you tell us? Can you tell us a little bit about? So you're taking us through the stages of everything you went through to actually help people. Can you tell us about what Dreams to Founders is now? Can you kind of segue into that before you go too deep in? Can you tell us what that is?
So I started out being a coach, and I was running my Khalia Deborah coaching, is completely for profit. And then the more I started to do that, people would inquire with me, like wanting me to be their coach and stuff. And yeah, a lot of people came to me and they were able to pay for it, but there was like a bunch of people who came to me who needed the services, whether it was life coaching or business coaching, but they couldn't afford it. Like they couldn't afford it. And some of them didn't like know some things that they needed to know, but it wasn't their fault. Some of it is because of how they were raised. They never was exposed to different things, and everybody's mind doesn't work the same. So the way my mind works that I can pour out to people, some people's mind does not work like that. And that's cool because we're handicapped for a reason. So like I have something that somebody else needs. So I just felt burdened with that for a while. And it was on purpose. Like, God put that heaviness on me on purpose. And then we had a conference. I was like, you know what? I'm going to put on a conference. Most conferences nowadays, y'all know, ticket prices like $150, $200. You got to travel. You got to do this. So I said, bet I'm going to have a conference in Philly. Tickets going to be $60 or less. And people showed up. They packed out. People ended up showing up the day of, like, who shows up the day of a conference without no ticket? They showed up and was just asking, like, look, I'll stand in the back, like, whatever. We let them in. But I made it inexpensive. University of Pennsylvania partnered with us, opened their doors to us, and partnered with us, and we were able to put on a great conference. But at this conference, we helped people in the areas of life coaching. So we gave them all the gems. I mean, we had a therapist, we had, managers from different companies and stuff like that, creative on the panel, like somebody from Wall Street to help with finances. So we put out all this content for them to pick up and wasn't charging them $2,000 coaching fees and stuff like that, but created a space for them to gain what they needed to. And this was open to people in the community, to come in, whether you're an entrepreneur, business owner, whatever. So leaving that conference, seeing how successful it was, I was like, I have to do more because they're hungry and they need it. So I spent the entire Q4 of 2019 doing my strategic plan for the nonprofit, coming up with a board of directors, reaching out to them, seeing if they would actually want to be my board of directors and advise me along the way. I set everything in motion. 1/1 of 2020, I announced the nonprofit, our programming, our curriculum, and I haven't looked back since. So now we have a nonprofit organization where people literally can get this information for free to little to no money. So we are literally like, no matter if you can afford this or not, Dreams to Founder is all about helping people get equal access to resources and opportunities. Because people nowadays, they charge for everything. And, some of these, and I'm not knocking them because I still have my coaching package where people can pay me thousands of dollars for coaching, but everybody can afford it. You got to pay for everything nowadays. And I just feel like I've been blessed with this knowledge. I've been blessed to be able to go to college to attain knowledge. I've been able to, kind of have this certain kind of drive and passion. And I think I've been blessed with it to pour it out to other people. And I think that's what we are here to do. God created us to create for the benefit of others. And along the way, he will bless us for doing that. So that's what Dreams to Founder is all about. Me taking what he's given me and pouring it out. And then in turn, hopefully we'll be able to build up greater communities. That is the flat out reason for why this nonprofit exists.
So let me ask you this. One thing that I've been fond of you since back in the college days, way back when, and golly, not telling ages now, but it was your drive, and you were able to go through a lot of stages to where you navigated from totally different industries. I mean, totally different industries. And then you landed in a place to where you're like, all right, cool. This is what I'm doing. I'm not looking back. This is what I'm here for. So can you tell us like a little bit, like what, in your words, how do you take a vision or an idea and actually make it into something very successful? So, because a lot of people have dreams, and now we're in the age now to where everybody and their mother is an entrepreneur. So, how do you take an idea that you have and not just do it, but do it well and to exceed? How you just stated, you threw a conference and you had people showing up the day of with no seats, wanting to get in. So how do you get to that point to where it's like, all right, I can take my little idea and I actually can make it into something way bigger than what I originally thought? So can you take us through that?
First off, when, and again, everybody, I don't deem to be anybody, like whatever you take what you need from me. I'm not a genius out here, so I'm giving you all of my own experience, research, and stuff like that. But when it comes to having an idea and wanting to step out on it, before you do anything, before you go tell your social media followers, yo, I'm working on something, like, yo, go private. Like, instead of going public first, go private. Like, build in private. That's number one. Do your failures in private. Do your mapping out, your experimenting, seeing if this idea is working. Your R&D, research and development. Nowadays, people are not doing R&D. Yo, I got an idea. I'm putting it in the microwave, hit the 30 seconds. I want to come out a millionaire. Like do R&D, development. You know, have you even researched your market that you want to step into? You know, what's it like to be a business owner or run a business or have a product in this market? What is the market doing? Like, do you know anything about other businesses in your market? So you need to do research and development first, not even thinking about your target audience first. First things first, do you have a good idea? And I don't mean do I believe I have a good idea, but do the work to know if you have a good idea. Number one, does it solve a problem? If you have a solution, you will always have a seat at the table. You might as well just build your own table. Like if you need to solve a problem in other people's lives, and ask the people around you, your family, your friends, your neighbors, do polls, email people, ask them, hey, can you take this quick survey, or find out what people's problems are. And if your idea, is it solving it for them? Solving problems will keep people coming back. Solving problems in their lives will keep them investing, keep them constantly coming back for more. 2, does it have the potential to grow? Does your idea have the potential to grow past the coffee shop that you're currently working in, or your back room of your house that you're currently working in? Does it have the potential to grow? Does it have the potential to grow past Philly or whatever city you currently reside in? Can you take your product and go to, Europe? Can you go here? I think big. So I'm thinking internationally. Do you have the ability to? Does, people like to stamp something on a t-shirt, put it in the microwave, want everybody to buy in? Is it something that everybody's even gonna like? Do you have the potential to go big? So you need to think about, even with branding, you need to think about, is this something that only Philly people like? Is this something that people across the country will like? On the West Coast, on the East Coast? Like, is it something that will appeal and grow? Is it profitable? Will people pay for it? And be real. And sometimes you need to get out of your own mind and go ask some people. Like, yo, can you look at this product? Can you look at this idea? Do a mock-up, do a prototype, and go ask questions that people to test it out and stuff. Would you pay for this? And don't go ask your girlfriends or your homies in the group chat. Go ask some people that's going to give you real life advice. Like, you know what? I'm not going to buy it. Or maybe you should think about switching this out, or that looks a little cheesy, but let's do this. Like, go to somebody who's going to give you advice, but also give you some, solutions, or give you their thoughts. 4, is it unique? Does it have a USP, which is a unique selling proposition? Is there some sort of something in your product or idea that's unique? What's going to separate you from someone else? Like the old saying that they say, you go down the market, the bread aisle in the market, there's 50 million brands of bread. There's room for you in the market, but what makes you different? All the brands of bread, I always go to the same one. I want the honey wheat, I want, give me a little health with some sweet. So it's like, what is your unique proposition? 9 times out of 10, to burst anybody's bubble, you are the unique factor. So what do you have to bring to the table? For me, it literally is millions of coaches out there. It's millions of coaches out there. But I don't really care, because there's something that I have that other people don't. So I have to figure it out, all right, what do I bring to the table? You'll find many life coaches. You'll find many business coaches. But you don't find many coaches who are both of them together and will help you get right within and build your business. So you got to find that out. Last but not least, please, y'all, listen to y'all gut. Some of y'all know when y'all don't have a good idea. But also some of y'all know when y'all sitting on a good idea, but y'all so nervous because of what society says and what social media says, or this person told me I got to do this, I got to do that. You better listen to yourself. Your intuition is real. And if you're a believer, listen to what God says. If he's directing you to do something, it will look and feel different from what everybody else is doing. You better go for it, because his is way better than ours. When it comes to even having an idea and if it's going to be successful, you got to put in some work. And I'm not talking about the typical work that people do nowadays. You need to research, look at the market, look at other top businesses in your industry. I don't care if you're starting from an idea now, like just little old you with this big idea. If you are getting into the sneaker game, you should be looking at Nike. You should be looking at all these top fear of God, whatever you try and get into, look at the top companies. And people would say, well, why would I look that high? Like, I'm just little me with, because don't you want to be here? I think like big businesses. If I want to be one, I got to think like one. So I have to put in the work and know, all right, well, what the heck is Nike doing? Look at their social media, Google their media kit, because 9 times out of 10, most big companies publish their media kits. So you can go in their media kits, see their mission, their vision, their purpose. You can see, their audience, who they're tailing after. Look at their Facebook, their ads. Look at those emails that come to your email asking for your money. What do they look like? How are they getting to those people? Most people aren't doing that. They're not going above and beyond. And they're not spending their time figuring out what the issue is, what people need help with, and how they can resolve it. Once you do that, then you go look at the people. Then focus on your target audience. You can agree with me or not. I say focus on developing the product first, because the product comes from you. When you develop first and then think about your target audience, I think you'll be more successful, because your product, once you develop it, that should tell you who you need to sell to. People want to say, oh, I want to work with this group of people. Let me go try to make something that goes with them. No, because what you're making comes from you. What if you want to tend to a group of people, but you ain't really got it? Make something first and then let your product say who you should be out there going for.
That was some sauce. That was some good sauce. That was some real good stuff right there. And alongside of some of what you said, because all right, so I'm in the music industry. And a lot of people in the music industry, in other words, and I guess this goes for a lot of industries, but I can only talk about the people I represent. And some of them don't quite understand what branding is, or how it is kind of communicated, or the importance of it. Can you talk just a little bit about what it actually is? And I know it's kind of like, you can kind of just talk about it in general, but it seems to me as if a lot of people don't understand what it is, and they're getting mixed up between branding and marketing, and usually what it turns into is like a lot of what they do. Sometimes they don't understand who they're talking to. Are they trying to talk to themselves and make themselves look good, or are they actually trying to pitch something to somebody else, or or they don't have clarity on exactly what it is? So can you clarify some of that for us?
I mean, plain and simple, when it comes to like branding and marketing, I like to kind of divvy up the two in my head. It's like when I'm thinking of marketing, I'm thinking of like everything like visual that people can see. I'm trying to market this product. I'm trying to put it out there to see if people like it. So what colors I need to use, what verbiage, what language, how do I need to talk? How do I need to get to them? Like what techniques do I need to get for somebody to hit buy or join or whatever? When it comes to branding, I'm thinking of personality. What's my brand's personality? What's the heartbeat of my brand? What's the language of my brand? Like, how do we move? What's our vibes? Like, just talking in like, our everyday language. Like, make this brand a person. Like, make this business, this product, whatever, a person. What are they like? Like, what's your brand's attitude? How do they speak? Like, how do your brand speak to people? And when I say that, people go, huh? I said, best and believe that you are your brand. You're out there in the world, when you're out there on social media, how are you talking to people? How are you responding to things that happen in the world? Like, we live in a day and age where we can't hide behind our logos like they used to do back in the day. So you can't have this one life behind your logo and then try to step in front and be like, oh, hello, everyone. No. Like, you are a walking piece of your company. People nowadays will not buy into your brand solely because of you, because of something you did, because of something you said. You can have a great idea, an amazing idea. Investors won't even invest because they understand the idea of how influential you are and how a part of your brand that you are. You know, so it's just like what is the personality? How do you want to be represented? I have people that I've never even met before who will DM me or show up to an event and be like, you know, I really like what your brand stands for. What do you stand for?
Right.
Like it's a branding it's a personality. You know, it's a, how do you look? You know, how do you speak? How do you talk? How does your brand speak without you having to say a word? So when people go on social media and when people receive an email from you, when people see other people in your product, what does it look like? So I'm okay with not selling to everybody. I'm okay with telling people, you know what, I'm not a good fit for you, but let me recommend somebody who might be. Because my brand's personality is on the line. My brand's rep is on the line. You know, so you need to think more so when you think in branding, think personality, think, you know, language, think vibes, think mission, think, you know, vision, all of that. Think about you, because you rep you. Think about your team, the people you hire, the people that work for you, people that represent you on a daily. What are they like? You know, even if you want to volunteer with our nonprofit, there's an application process. So it's a matter of you have to know that every piece of you, extended or not, that's a part of your brand. So simple as that. If you need something simple, branding is personality. Branding is vibes. Branding is language. Branding is what's coming from the heart. Branding is you talking on social media. Branding is, you know, so it's just like branding is a lot. Don't get that mixed up with how you look, because it goes deeper than just how I look, how I can get somebody to sell in.
Wow, that was deep. So let me ask you this. You have done a lot so far. You have made it to the place to where you kind of see your you actually mostly active in right now. What goals do you have? Where do you see yourself from here on out? And kind of what does it take for you to get there?
Oh gosh.
Nobody likes that question ever.
Because like from here on out, like I could give you like my version of like where I see me, but I don't really. Every day I'm asking God like, all right, what's the next step you need me to take? So I'm chasing after where He is telling me to go, and it's just from here on out. Like not even from here on out, but my whole mindset has been it's bigger than me. It's completely bigger than me. Like what I'm building right now has been revealed to me that it's going to be huge. It's going to be major, but it's going to be international. So it's not just going to be, you know, a nationally known, you know, nonprofit or movement. You know, it's going to be something that it's all over. You know, and from here on out is really about service. So daily, like every day, some of the habits that I do is that like I think about where I want to be and what it takes to get there. So at the top of every year, I don't do vision boards or anything like that. I set 3 goals for the entire year. They might be major big goals, but I set 3 goals for the entire year and I chase after them like no other. You know, and then I go for it. But from here on out, it's about serving other people. It is about literally making sure that I am putting into the communities who need it and building up. And then along the way, as far as myself, it's speaking engagements. It's getting to city, going to different countries and stuff like that, and speaking and spreading the message and pretty much spreading what I have to offer to everyone. But the cool part about me and kind of how I strategize my life without giving too much is that I am going to be able to get to do what I love to do and kind of get to do what God has put in my life to do without worrying, without stressing, without feeling like I have to hustle, without worrying about every single dime because of how I moved in my personal financial life. So that's investing. That's being wise with my coin right now. You know, so that's being strategic about, all right, like what's going on in the market right now? I know everybody's scared, but let me step back and look at the fact that, all right, I'm going to create an investment strategy figure out what companies I'm going to invest in. I'm going to buy some of those inexpensive stocks right now. That's a part of my strategy. Wait for the turnaround, see how that comes. But then on top of that, all right, cool. What other investment stuff can I get into? Okay, I'm a landlord, so I have tenants right now and I have an investment property. All right, cool. Like the market is a little scary, but that also means that the housing market is going to be very appeasing right now. What other rental properties can I get? And not just me, but even as a whole in our family, in this household, we talk about our investment goals and what we need to do, what's on our next list, what we're about to acquire. But all of that income that we make in our sleep. So when we can build a certain kind of financial life, we can be able to step out there and do some pretty dope things without feeling like we got to hustle everybody's dime. We got to be doing this and doing that. But we can move how we want, impact how we want, serve how we want, build these businesses how we want, because we got money that we can make in our sleep. So for me, going forward, it's all about wisdom, not going with the flow of what everybody else is doing, unplugging and realizing, all right, this is my strategy. This is what I have to do. Even though the world is telling me to do 50 other million things, I got to stick to this strategy, learn how to be flexible along the way, build from there. But like my biggest thing, I have to stay focused on building what I'm building, even when it looks different from everybody else. Right now, this vision that I have, it is international, it is worldwide. Everybody won't understand, and that's cool. And even when the days, the numbers look like this, like you have to keep to that larger vision of where you're going. And sometimes it means stepping back and getting way more strategic in your personal life as well as in your business life, because those will clash at some point. But when you're wise in your personal life, down to relationships, friendships, money, all of that, you open the door for yourself to be more successful in your business. More like you open up opportunities in your business. And now you're not trying to hustle to pay down all this debt that you acquired in your personal life and all that, but you can just build like unapologetically. So like me going forward, it's all about strategy. It's all about the right steps, having the right people around you. Yeah, I might be a little quiet. Yeah, I might not have 20 people around me. I don't know, some people might call me bougie. Some people might call me, or, you don't ever want to do this. Well, look, I can't have everybody around me. And the ones who are, they understand. But it's a mindset thing for me going forward. That's probably not like the typical answer you hear from people.
Nah, it's not, but I get it, but it's always it's always interesting what people are going to say, because a lot of times we all have dreams, we all have aspirations into where we want to be in life. But then also on the flip side, if you look at where you are now, and there's always a side to be like, I'm grateful for where I am. I'm content where I am, but I need to be more. So I need to be further or do more or whatever. So kind of like when you look at the current state you're in and you notice that every decision you've made led you to this very point, sometimes we'll let you know like, dang, I did not plan this to begin with. Even when you're thinking now for the future, it's like, even though I'm planning it, I really don't know where I'm going to end up. But I do have a goal in mind, and I do have a place or some type of vision where I see myself operating in,
And it's like everything is not going to be crystal clear. There's some things that I know that are like crystal clear. Like I know this going to happen in this time frame or this time frame. I know what ventures we're going into. I know what things we're like. There's some things that are crystal clear. Now I am the type of person that I keep a lot of stuff private. I build, and then when it comes out, you'll see it. But then on the other hand, I really believe in, letting God be innovative in your life. Like if he wants to flip the script, let him. So I don't get attached to yesterday's blessings. I'm very grateful for them. I remember them. I let them push me, but I don't get attached to yesterday's blessings, and I don't get attached to like this major plan that I have, and I can only do this plan. But I make room for the new. Like I make room for innovation.
Right. So cool. So Khalia, You got any last words for the people? What's the one thing you want to leave with them? What's the one thing you want them to know?
Have perspective, man. And like, when I'm talking about like perspective, this is like I guess a good tidbit for right now. We don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. We might be in a house for another 2 months, 3 months. Who knows? Yo, choose your perspective. We have so much more authority than we give ourselves credit for. Like we have this innate authority that we were born with. Like tap into it. Have your own perspective. Unplug. Stop trying to chase what everybody else is doing and try to make it your own. Like get out there and do for you and stop trying to stress over being or doing what this person said you got to do to get here. Like create your own flow of achieving your own set of greatness. And like when it comes to success, like define success by how you define it. And like success for me is being able to live my life the way that I want to live it and do the things in life that I want to do. Impact, help people, serve, not having to financially worry and stuff like that. So whatever your success level is, define it and go for it. Stick to your strategy and don't let people throw you off. You know, people will have 20 million opinions for you to take. Create a bowl and you put all those opinions in a bowl. You pick out the ones that's true. You know, pick out the ones that, you know what, yeah, this is me, or yeah, I need this advice. If you don't need it, leave it for the next person to pick up. Everything ain't for you. You ain't for everybody. That's it.
Perspective. All right, Khalia, well, I thank you. Where can the people find you if they need to look for you?
Well, our website is dreamstofounder.org. You can find me on Instagram or Facebook at Dreams to Founder. You can also find me on Instagram at KDEB, KDEB_coaching on Instagram, on Twitter. We out here. You can find us.
And I'm going to make sure I put all that information in the description below for everybody. You can just go click on it. Go follow Khalia on all the platforms. Dreams to Founders. Go see what she's all about. And I'm Keef, and I hope I see you in the next video. Like and subscribe for everybody.
Yes, definitely.